Okay, guys. Back here with the Dark Game series. And as we get into this video, the topic of this video is cheating undetectable. Right? Because obviously this is Dark Game. What you gotta understand is when women say they're intuitive, they pick up on little things. It's your subconscious mind picking up on little things, in how do you say it? In regularities, things that just are not regular, but you can be undetectable to these things if you are smooth, if you set certain boundaries at the beginning of your relationship, and how to get away with a lot of things. So we're going to be talking about this in this video. Here we have a woman that is telling her story on how she got cheated on. And we can talk about how these things can be avoided in Dark Game. They're going to be the ultimate cheater, right? But the reason why I feel like the Dark Game is so necessary, lying all the time obviously isn't the best thing to do. But it's still game at the end of the day. And when you learn the game from all angles, obviously, if you're a person of moral and ethics, you're going to come to be a morally ethical person. Although there's never been a study of poverty and you got riches from it. The point is, I feel like it's good to know, but this can play an effect on you knowing how to manipulate. The point is, it's Dark Game. It sounds bad. I get it. And I'm realizing that as I say it, but fuck it. Let's do this shit.
Once, and I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, so we're going to listen to her story, and then we're going to be highlighting some of the things, some of the do's and don'ts, and then after we're going to get into how to stay undetectable.
Bill, again, you don't need to look through somebody's phone. If you are in tune with your intuition and with yourself, child, you will figure out everything that you need to know. Everything done in the dark will always come to light. Let me tell you all the time that I caught this boy cheating on me and I never went through his phone. I had no idea where this girl lived. However, I found him at her house. So like I said, my boyfriend at the time.
Hold on a second. Baby, you ain't all them pancakes? Alright, that's fine. No, it's fine. Alright, my bad, guys. I'm back. Alright, I just wanted to get something to drink. So let's continue.
You know, I already had an inkling about this girl and him, like, messing around or whatever. He told me he was going home for the night and he wasn't going to stay with.
Pause. She already had an inkling. I don't know what the fuck this inkling was, but it was something that she was already suspicious of. And if a girl's suspicious of something, it's probably some type of behavior that you show. Probably she's seen you guys together. There's something. There's always an indicator. There's always an indicator. And I feel like when most guys do it, when most guys cheat, they cheat with a coworker or somebody in the friend circle, right? Nowadays it's a little different because you got dating apps, but you guys still fuck up.
With me, granted, it was my birthday, but I worked late that night, so it wasn't that big of a deal. He had stayed with me the entire week, so I was like, okay, whatever. However, it was around like 8 o'clock, and this man was like, oh, I'm going to sleep. Me, like, okay, like, you do play a sport or whatever, so like maybe you are tired, it's been a long day, like, cool, whatever. The part that didn't sit right with me is the fact that he told me he was going to come back over to my house after he woke up from his nap. He was taking a nap at 8:30 at night. That don't make sense. Like, for part two of me catching.
So this is another thing. A lot of you guys, you do and say things that just don't make sense. Like that. Who the fuck goes to bed at 8 o'clock? Like, who goes to sleep at that time? If there are people, some people do go to sleep early. Like, if I fall asleep, I'm not going to say I'm going to sleep. I literally just fall asleep because I'm tired. I take a nap. You know, the little things that are out of your daily schedule. You have to think, like, if you're going to put this into, if you're going to actually do this, you have to think it through. It's like playing chess. You have to say, okay, do I normally do this? Do I normally do that? You guys just give a vague excuse and say, okay, boom, I'ma just go. And I'ma just go and fuck this bitch and do my thing. You have to be smart. And they pick up her subconscious, they pick up on the little things like, oh, he normally does this, that, and the third. And you guys are so regular with your schedule. So you do one little thing out of schedule, it's like, okay, that was off. And then you do consistent things out of schedule, which is off. You're messing up their routine. This is why when people talk every day, and then that one guy I tell who don't talk to her every day, sometimes don't talk to her for a few hours. Some of these girls think that their boyfriend is dead. They think that he died. Oh my God, I can't get in contact with him. He's not answering. I don't know what to do. And they start crying and complaining. Because you guys are so routine with things, and then you go and do something that's so out of the norm. It's like, what is going on? This is really suspicious. And then she says it's intuition. No, motherfucker, she just picked up on an irregularities. The irregular behavior that you're showing. It's really that simple.
Somebody cheating on me without ever looking through their phone. So like I said, this man said he was taking a nap at 8:30 at night, and that shit just wasn't sitting right. And something in my stomach, like my gut was really just telling me, like, he's with her. But I was like, but where? Like, where does this girl live? And granted, like, I knew she lived near me because it was on college campus. So I was like, okay, she doesn't live far.
And besides, look, they're on a fucking college campus. I've just seen this girl plenty of times. She's probably seen them together. They're like all, like, come on. And then you wonder why. Like, you ever hear these stories how back in the day there were guys who had a whole nother family on the other side of town, right? Whole entire, another wife, another kid, everything. Everything. How were they able to achieve these type of things? Having two whole separate families that didn't know about each other until they were fucking adults. How was that possible? Well, one, you didn't have technology back then. Right? We didn't have technology. There was no such thing as social media, so you can't be tracked. You don't know what this person's doing. Right? There's no cell phone, so when I'm out and I go to work and you don't hear from me for a while, there's no getting in contact with me. I'm working. And if you're working hard, you're like, well, I got to stay away for a few days at a time. I'm going to work. I'm going away to work. All right, say bye to daddy. Say bye to... But you guys are so obvious with things. And even still, you can do social media and still use it to your advantage. Right? You can post, oh, I'm here at this time. I'm here at that time. Tell her you're here, and then post an old picture with your boys, or go show up with your boys for a second, take a picture, post on your story. Yeah, I'm hanging with my boys. Right? And then when you're actually hanging with your boys, make this a habit of not texting her when you're out with your friends. Because you guys are so inconsistent with your behavior. You'll be texting her all day, and then when you, even with your boys, you hanging out with your boys, you still texting her. Stop texting when you hang out with your boys. So if you ever decide to do something mischievous, all right, well, he doesn't really text me when he's out. Oh, this is regular behavior for him. I'm not really too suspicious. But no, oh, I'm hanging out with my boys. Damn, you didn't text me not once. You always text me when you're out with your boys. You always call me. You always send me messages on Instagram. You always do something. This time you didn't. That's really suspicious of you, Darren. Right? It's the little things, the little inconsistencies that they pick up on. It's not fucking difficult. These bitches aren't fucking intuitive. I can say I'm intuitive too. You pick up on the irregular behavior.
So me being myself.
But this is fucking Child's Day on a fucking college
I just
campus.
continue to work. He really wasn't texting me back at all. And so I get off and I'm like, all right, bet. Like,
He wasn't texting me back at all. Hello. I didn't watch this. Like, come on.
Just gonna go home and like chuck it up. Like, he would never do that, right? But for whatever reason, God had a different plan in mind. Something, I don't know, the spirit, the universe, the Lord literally guided me to this woman's house. I just drove down like a random street, like swear to you not. And I'm driving down this street and I was just like, I don't know why I think she lives over here, but I think she lives over here. And I drive by this house and I come to a complete stop and my mouth hit the floor. I was like, I know that cannot be his car. Like, for part 3. The time I caught a boy cheating on me without ever looking through his phone, part 3. Me finding this girl's house and finding him at her house is like strictly by chance. I didn't go to a small school, so literally by chance. But anyway, so my mouth is like literally on the floor and I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please don't let this be this man's car. Please don't let this be this man's car. But bitch, it was that man's car. Oh, y'all. Everything in the world seemed to stop at this point because I was just like, all right, am I going to jail? Or am I just gonna, like, play it sweet and cool? And bitch, I said I'm going to jail. Fuck all of that shit. I did. I was like, skirt into the driveway, right? Pulled up, see it's his car, and I was just like, fuck me. I go and I knock on the door, like, very casually because I got mad and I was just like, calm. So I'm knocking on the door and I see this man at the top of the steps. He tried to freaking duck, but they wouldn't open the door and shit just got crazy. The time I caught a boy cheating on me, part 4. So like I said, even though I saw him at the top of the stairs, he still wouldn't come outside. I'm like blowing this man's phone up. Like he knew I saw him. So I like, that was what was pissing me off even more. Like, I saw you. We made eye contact. I should also say that I had a house with this man. Like, we deadass, like, lived together. So anyway, since we lived together, I knew he had a spare key on his car. So I was like, well, fuck you. You don't want to come outside. I'm gonna steal your car. So I'm like going over and I'm like looking for his car key, like on his car, and I'm like in crazy mode at this point. Couldn't find the car key, but I see a water hose. I was like, oh fuck yes, I'm so smart. I'm gonna flood these bitches out. So me being brilliant, I went and like put the water hose on the front door and like turned it on full blast. How I caught a boy cheating on me, part 5. So as I said, I like took the water hose, put it on the door, because I was going to drown them out of the house. And at this point, the man decided it was time for him to come outside because he could see that I was in destruction mode. I was really close to burning the house down at this point. So he comes outside and I'm still standing on the porch and I literally take the water hose and like spray him with.
Now listen, I don't condone all this fucking crazy behavior. And I told you guys, because if you ever watch the video on how to get away with cheating, right? I say it all the time. Guys get caught cheating and they feel that they have to deal with all types of disrespect, women disrespecting them, hitting them, calling them everything under the sun besides their name, getting violent, and they think they have to tolerate that behavior. Listen, I'm not into hitting women, and I've never hit her one time, but she hit me 3 times, and I told her after the 3rd time, if you hit me again, I'm gonna hit your ass back, and I did. But I don't go around hitting women. But in a situation like this, if she's acting crazy, trying to fight me, I will subdue that bitch. And if she has a weapon in her hand, I will knock her the fuck out. So, I don't believe in hitting women. But if you're using excessive force, I will choke you out. Time to go night-night. Don't hit women. But situations like this, no. No, absolutely not. I would have put that bitch to sleep. Just saying.
With it like you see in the movies, like it is ice cold water and it's just being sprayed all over it. In the midst of all of this, I like broke the girl's door. He ended up leaving and going back to her house to try to get me away because I was like TTG, okay? And so I ended up staying because like, wow, like I want to fight. I want to talk to her. Like I want to fight. Like I fought him and then I was like, I'm going to fight her next. I beat the fuck out of this man, like beat the living shit out of him on top of the fact that I was ready to beat her up. But she was a little pussy and she ended up calling the cop. And I basically almost went to jail, kind of. And I may have gotten like a protective order put against me. And so yeah, 0 out of 10 recommend. So yes, all of that happened without me ever looking through his phone. I am a pretty intuitive person, so I just knew anyway. Plus there was like little hints and stuff from the girl on the internet because bitches are stupid. And
like I said, there was little hints from the girl because bitches are stupid. Women just don't out of nowhere magically just know what the fuck is going on. There's always a reason for it. There's always a reason for it, and you can avoid it, right? Like on text message, keep your phone on do not disturb. That's for starters. Why don't you do that? Keep your phone on do not disturb. Or you can put the night mode or do not disturb on certain text messages, right? You can send automated text messages. So they say you have there's a feature on iPhone where you can send automated text messages. I put that up in the text game. It's on Patreon, right? You can send automated text messages. If you know you're going to hang out with another girl and you want to be texting your girl, send automated text messages, even if you send one. But it's better for you not to get into a habit of texting while you're hanging out with friends. If you say you're hanging out with friends, it's not irregular behavior. It's always little things. Just remember, you guys get caught because you're doing irregular behavior and saying things that, who the fuck is going to sleep at 8 o'clock? Who the fuck is doing something like that? People don't do shit like that. And it doesn't make sense. You have to make sense of all of this shit. There's people, you know what you do? You just gotta be sharp. You gotta be sharp. And the problem is guys slack, they get lazy. And one big thing is never get into a habit. You have to set these standards from the beginning. I've broken up with girls for going through my phone. I remember about maybe 4 years ago, some girl I was talking to. And we were talking for a good little while too, like a good 4 or 5 months. I was liking her and everything. She went through my phone and I broke up with her. Yeah, she saw some shit, but it didn't matter because I could have got past it because she wasn't my girlfriend. And I told her, I was honest, I told her I was talking to other people, but the point is, I stopped talking to her. So I guess it's breaking up with her, but not technically breaking up because she wasn't my girlfriend, but I cut her off more or less. And I did it once when I was in high school. I had like a little high school girlfriend. I broke up with her. These are boundaries that you have to set from the beginning. Don't play that whole thing going through my phone and going through your phone. Oh, can I go through your phone? No, you cannot. And even it's okay if you even say that like on the first date. Oh, I don't do the whole going through phones thing. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I don't play that. I don't go through phones. That's not a thing that I do. And when you set these boundaries from the beginning and you say, like, this girl's acting crazy, and you set your whole standards with respect, oh, I don't play that crazy shit. You get crazy with me, I will cut you off. I don't play that. Clearly, this is not a girl that had a certain level of respect for him. You always see flaws in people's games when you hear stories like this. There's always a reason for everything, but when you stay sharp and you're not keeping an honesty policy, you can definitely get away with it. You can definitely get away with it, but it also all goes back to how you set your standards at the beginning. You have to be smart, right? And you have to, just don't do stupid shit. It's not hard. It's not hard. But hey, it sounds evil. This is the Dark Game series. We're just getting warmed up. I got a lot of fucked up things I could talk about, but I gotta warm you guys up so you don't see me in a horrible light. Let's end it off.